All right. So we're back with another episode of Six Views, a special one today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm usually up in the CR3 studios, usually doing my thing over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's an honor to be able to travel out, get out of the crib, I guess, and come through. We're all the way up here in Janestride, on the, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The notorious
Strip,
Jane
you already
Strip,
know.
right? And it's special also because besides having an artist who raps, we have somebody who's behind the scenes, behind the boards, right? So with no further ado, I have Shizzy Shotta and I have Meeno Giinchy in the motherfucking building.
Running by myself, counting all this money by myself. I don't trust nobody but myself. Niggas dropping dimes like a wishing well. 211, yeah, I wish you well. Free my nigga out the prison cell.
Okay. Much respect, Friday. You already know, man. It's always a blessing having you here, bro.
Hey,
a lot of people don't know. Me and Friday, we go way back since like 2010. Jeez. Remember? Like, Loft days,
man. Christy Ossington Center, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Thanks for having us, fam.
Okay. So, I'm gonna get straight to it. Now, let's start with you, Shizzy. Like,
yeah, man.
What was your recording sessions like last night? Were you in a recording session?
Last night I wasn't in a recording session. Last night I was in an actual production session with me and one of my boys. You know, shout out to Drew. You know, Hit Force.
Okay.
If you guys need some of the dopest beats, go to hitforce.com. You know, that's the man right there, man. But you know, we went to music school together. Mm-hmm. Banged out like 2 beats last night, you know. I love those sessions. I hardly get time to do those sessions because I'm always recording this artist or that artist, you know what I'm saying? But
so you're usually recording rather than making beats? Then?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I love making beats, but I hardly get the time to, you know.
Yeah. What's your average amount of time that you're spending in the studio on a recording session?
Oh, man.
Like after all your recording sessions are done for the day, like not one session, but like when you're done all your sessions for the day, how much time have you spent in the studio?
I'm literally in here, and this is no word of a lie. Meeno knows this. Mm-hmm. I'm in here 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm gone. The latest could be out like 3 a.m., 6 a.m., you know, mostly like 4 a.m. The 6 a.m. ones, like that's a really rare session, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, I'm literally in here all day, every day. You know?
So you're saying like 18 hours?
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
Like facts. I'm not even exaggerating, you know?
Yeah. And I know you from the Christy Ossington Center.
Yeah,
right?
man.
You're engineering there, you're making beats, right? So what were you doing before I met you them times? And this is like 2010.
Yeah, 2010, like late 2009, that's when I met you over there. Mm-hmm. I got that job after I got out of music school, because I went to music school in 2008 in the Trebas Institute, and then after I graduated, and then after I spent like a few months trying to figure out like what's my next move, you know what I'm saying? Because like, you know, I used to work in like factories. I've had all types of jobs, man, not just factories, you know, but like throughout my childhood and growing up, trying to figure out what I really want to do in life. I still didn't know. I was confused until like I always knew I loved music though, you know. So I used to be a DJ when I was like 17. I used to go just random parties and weddings, you know, sometimes at a restaurant down the street and stuff by Finch and Western Road. And one of my boys actually told me, yo, I know a school that'll teach you how to make music rather than just playing music.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, all right, cool. So I took him up on the offer. I'm like, yo, let's go check it out together. Take me there. You know, so we went there together. We both enrolled. I didn't graduate from high school, I'm not going to lie, but, you know, stay in school, kids. You know what I'm saying? I didn't graduate from high school, but they made me take a test, and I passed the test. I got in, did a year over there, came out of college. Then after spent a few months looking around for jobs, and this one lady that I knew from music school, she ended up plugging me in with the Loft. Okay. Because they were looking for an engineer, right? So, and then that's how I met you, you know, like that's how I met most of my clients actually, you know what I'm saying? Because like even to this day, like I still record artists that I've met like from back then, 2010, you know, which is a blessing, you know what I'm saying? I'm grateful to all of my clients, every artist that I've ever worked with, you know?
Yeah. And like we're over here by like Jane and Finch area, right? So like you grew up in this area around here?
Yeah, I was born and raised down here, man. I went to school down here. I was born at the hospital right over there at Jane and North Finch. At Finch and North Finch. Yeah, man.
Okay. And what was it like growing up before you started getting into like the music stuff?
Oh man, you already know how the street life is, you know what I'm saying? Like a bunch of bullshit, you know, shit that I probably shouldn't have been through, that I shouldn't have did, you know, but
Yeah.
you learn, you live, you know?
No, for sure. And simultaneously, like we're talking about 2010, right? We have Meeno Giinchy here. In 2010, when like Shizzy and I were like we're meeting up and we're in the studio, what were you doing in
I was just
2010?
starting to record.
Okay.
I was just getting into the studio. My boy David Rhymes, back in the day, we used to call him Flawless. He used to rap with me.
Okay.
Our school, I went to Brampton Centennial.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm from Brampton. I grew up in Brampton. My school had a studio. The teacher who actually put the curriculum together was his name was Keenly Side, and he was real dope. Like he worked for Apple Music, and he ended up retiring from there, and he wanted to teach, right?
Yeah.
So he opened up a school studio, and he gave me and David the keys. Like we were in there every day.
Yeah.
So around 2010, I was just starting to record and figure out how the studios work.
Okay. And what was your inspiration that even make you want to get
Fab.
into music? Fab. Eh?
Fab. I was listening to a bunch of Fab mixtapes, a bunch of Fab albums, songs. I love the wordplay, and I was just like, I'm in love with just language and just talking. So I was going to the studio and just putting my emotions on, whatever beats we could find on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So inspiration came from Fab, definitely.
Yeah. And like, okay, so in school, were you like one of the popular kids, or like were you like one of the more recluse, shy kids type of thing?
True
Or
say,
athlete?
I was honestly, fam, I was more like just the guy who was cool with everybody, and I'm still that guy to today, where it's like I don't try to, be the cool guy.
Yeah.
I just try to be cool with people. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the best thing you can do. You just keep great relationships, because even till today, I have a lot of people from high school who I still connect with. I still work with David being one of them. He shoots a lot of my videos.
Yeah.
Let David cut it.
Yes.
So, we weren't the cool guys, but everybody knew that we did music. I was definitely known for that. Even in high school, like everybody's like, yo, you're always in this, because I was called Don Claude back in the day.
Okay.
My real name's Claude, so I went by Don Claude. I was into some mafia shit. I love, the whole mafia vibe.
Or Don Claude or
Jean-Claude.
Van.
You know what I mean? Don, whatever. You're from Montreal, so you get me.
Double entendres, don't ask me how.
Exactly.
Hey.
So basically, from that now, I just switched it up and said, if I was to ever be on BET one day, like 106 in Park, Roxy's not going to say Don Claude. That sounds weird.
Yeah.
So I switched it to Don Meeno. Just one day, just switched it to that, because like I have a little nephew, shout outs to Camilo. They call him Meeno.
Okay.
And I looked up the meaning to the name, and it was like someone who's not understood by the world and has a lot to like fulfill. And I'm like, yo, that fits me perfectly. So I changed it to Don Meeno, and ever since I've just been running like with that. You know what I mean?
Dope. And we're over here in the studio, right? Where Shizzy's here recording Don Meeno on a regular basis.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Speedo Giinchy out.
yeah. And I've heard a lot of bangers coming out of here.
Thank you.
Now, one thing I want to do, and I want
Bizz.
to pass this around here to you, Shizzy.
Sure.
With all this stuff here, right?
Yeah, man.
You went to Trebas, right? And was that where you learned how to use this equipment? Like,
Yeah, man. Honestly, like dead ass. I went there with zero experience recording, mixing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just a DJ.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All I did was just play music, you know what I'm saying? Because I loved music so much. Like I had the passion for it. That's why I graduated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my class was like a room full of 30 when it began, and it was only 8 of us that graduated at the end.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. And when did you open your first studio? Is this the first studio you opened?
Nah, this is not the first studio that I opened. So when was it? I think it was like in 2010 when I met you too. Like further along, probably like 6 months into working at the Loft. I had another studio with another group I used to work with by Keel and sorry, not Keel. That was the second one by Weston. Where is it? Finch and Weston Road. Yeah, on Tor York.
Okay.
That's where it was, right?
Yeah.
I used to be a part of another group, so we used to work over there. And then after, we had another studio, because that one got shut down. We had another studio by Wonderland across the street by the houses over there in the basement, you know. And then after, I had another studio after I branched off from the group, you know, and started doing my own thing.
Right.
I had another studio at Keel and what was it? Keelan Lawrence.
Yeah.
Right behind the KFC over there.
Okay.
Right? It was a nice production studio, you know, you could shoot videos and stuff in there. There were a few artists from, you know, the neighborhood that I knew that used to go there as well.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'm not going to lie, I was working for somebody over there, but she hired me to basically build a studio and run it for her, you know. So it was an old lady. It was a great opportunity as well, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And then after that, I got my own equipment and I started recording out of my house, you know, because I didn't have a spot of my own at the time, you know. Plus, like, I had 2 kids and stuff too, so, like, you know, times was tough, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. So then after I started recording out of my house, building up some more of my clientele, and things started booming, you know. And then after, I was working with another group at the time too, and then after we got together and, you know, I opened up the outlet.
Jeez.
So, wow.
What a story.
Yeah,
That's a history for me too.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that.
One thing it brings to mind as well, with like the moving around and stuff, and you said you had one studio that was shut down, okay? So that gives me a 2-part question. 1, why was that studio shut down? And 2, is it an issue because we're working in the hip-hop space, getting studio space, getting somebody like a landlord to say, you know what, sure, I'll rent you out a studio so that you can bring a bunch of black guys to come in and smoke mad weed.
Yeah, no, it's tough, you know what I'm saying? Like, even now, it's still tough, but, like, I was blessed to even have this space, and, like, through, like, some people that I knew from the hood from a long time, you know what I'm saying? His pops is the one that owns the building, so, like, I got a good word put in for me through my friends, you know what I'm saying, that I knew, so. But, yeah, like, so, for your first question, that's actually a crazy-ass story, man. Like, the SWAT team kicked in the door and fucked up the studio and shit.
Wow.
Yeah, man, it was crazy.
Holy smokes, man. It was one of those,
It's a long story, bro.
Oh, man. So that's not a story you want to tell on camera, is it?
Like, okay, it's funny. Like, they didn't kick it in because of, like, stuff that we were doing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, to be real, we were renting out that space because it was like, you know, when you go on tour, there's like beer, what's it called, car dealerships and stuff, and auto body shops and stuff. You know, so it's spaces like that. So we had the front end, and there was a bucket that lived in the back shop. And it was his space, you know what I'm saying? But the bucket was wild, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, the man, he tripped out one day because the person that owned the shop next to us was parking in his spot by his garage door. You know what I'm saying? And then after, he got cheese because of that, and he told the man, he's like, yo, don't park in my parking spot. He's like, yo, the man didn't listen, you know?
Right.
And mind you, yo, before I go any further, mind you, the bucket is in a wheelchair. He has no legs.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Right? And I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at what the man did now.
Right. Because
How do you
he's
find this guy? Oh my goodness.
So the man parks in a spot where God from the studio were like turning up somewhere, you know? Then after, I get a call in the morning saying, oh, that the feds kick in the door and they fucked up our studio and shit.
Wow.
I'm like, what happened, yo? So my boy who owned the studio with me, he's like, yo, the man parked in his spot again, and he tripped out. The man poured gasoline all over his car and shit, tried to light it on fire. The man took a chainsaw and tried to chainsaw his car. Yeah, yo. The man in the wheelchair, no legs.
From the wheelchair.
Yeah, bro. So the man called the cops and told the cops, yo, like, this is what's going on, you know? They sent the SWAT team, bro, and the SWAT team just fucked up the place.
Send backup. Holy. Wow. That's a crazy.
That's a story.
That's a crazy story, and that's like studios. That's a crazy studio story,
Yeah,
right?
Toronto studios.
Yeah. and
Shit that be happening.
even like with the studio, right? Because like we're in the outlets or the outlet studios, right? Studio that I've recorded in myself in the past, right?
Many times,
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
many
yeah.
times.
That's what's up.
And I know for myself, for my recording sessions, I try to be quick.
Yeah,
Right? I always
Definitely with him. Yeah.
yeah. And Shizzy, he understands my patterns and how I do my thing in the booth,
Yep.
and he reacts to it, right? And it gels. So now for you, Meeno Giinchy, what's your average studio session like? Like when you have some songs in your mind, or just are you going in and saying, let me just make some songs when I'm here?
I would say it's kind of like I come here just to release something, right? So I don't really come in here saying, this is what I'm gonna do today. Or I come in here and I pull up a beat. Shizzy knows. We'll roll up a blunt. Usually it's the first beat. The first beat, I go in and we build up on it. I just whatever I went through that week or whatever I feel like is good to talk about.
Yeah.
I put it out there.
Yeah.
So and lately I haven't even been really writing like that. So
What do you mean? So you're like,
I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just reacting to the beat, like. So I'm kind of listening to it, and if I feel like the story's being told from the beat a certain way, then I just react to it.
Yeah, man, his sessions are definitely creative sessions.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Helps me a lot,
It's
though,
not
put me
it's
in that
not a
vibe.
normal session, man. It's not just like, oh yeah, I have this written down. Let me go in there and spit it one time. Like, nah, man. Bro.
so you're constructing it like as you go along, or are you putting the whole 16 together in your mind?
Yeah, constructing it as I go along. Sometimes I'll have the 16 in my head, like I'll build up 4 bars a day, and then at the end of the week I have a nice little verse.
Right?
But most of the time it's just whatever the environment gives me, right?
Dope. And even like you're a man that concentrates on flow patterns and stuff like that, right?
Definitely.
I heard the track Outlet Pass freestyle.
Look, loyal, I stay 10 toes down just like that boy tomorrow. Here today, you never know, I might just go tomorrow. I know my time is coming, thinking rose go all tomorrow.
Right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was on our list, on our top 6
Yeah,
list.
man.
Right?
Thank you for posting that, fam. It
And
was crazy.
It was a banger. You know what I'm saying? Like you had that flow pattern that you killed through the whole 16. You know what I mean? Audemars, like that. You rhyme Audemars or that line all the way through.
Yeah, like I told you, I love the English language, right? And I love the fact that we can say the same things differently. You know what I mean? Every artist has a way that they give something off. So that's my way. I want people to remember me for that. Meeno's flows.
Yeah. So how do you come up with something like that? Like when you put a flow pattern together?
Like I said, the beat, fam. I give all the love to the producers and respect to the people who are giving me the production, because without that, I wouldn't be able to give those flows. You know what I mean? But it's what the beat gives me. You know what I'm saying? So what I feel is what I feel. And it's going to be different all the time.
How do you come up with song titles?
Honestly, fam, at the end of the song, we just call it whatever we feel like. It suits, suits the song.
Yeah.
I sometimes I let Shizzy choose a song title. Like that's why I like with music. I like everyone to be involved with my music. You know, so it feels like everybody could talk about it as if it's theirs. Like they're not saying, "Oh, Meeno's song." Nah, they say, "Yo, my song with Meeno is crazy." Like I like that type of stuff.
Dope. And how did because you guys seem to have like a synergy when it comes to like recording, even just a vibe, right?
Yeah.
So how did you link up with Shizzy in the first place?
I linked up with Shizzy through, I think, mutual friends. Swiss brought me here, brought me to Outlet Pass. We recorded a song back in the day. I can't remember which song was the first song because we recorded so much songs.
Okay.
But from them times, Shizzy was just like fast.
I think it was Acting Away, no?
It might have been Acting Away, but we did a song before that we never released, right?
Yeah.
A lot of songs that we never released. Shout out to Swiss. And realistically, I just kept coming because, Shizzy has that vibe.
Yeah.
And I go for vibe. Anybody with a good vibe who does things with, no malicious intent, come on, you can't go wrong.
No, for sure.
Makes the music better.
And it also brings to mind even like it brought me right to my next question. With you, Shizzy, as an engineer, right? Because you have a cool vibe. You're like you lay in the cut.
Facts.
Right. So how do you find that balance when you're recording with an artist to know when you should step in and be like, hey, add some advisory to it, or just to lay back and be like, let him do his thing?
I mean, right off the bat, you know how people's vibe are. You can tell like if you meet an artist and they're one of those artists where it's like, yo, let me do my thing, just let me do it. Like they don't want any direction, they don't care for direction, they just want to go in there and do their thing. You know? They're making music for them. They don't even care about if it's that great or not. So for me, I think it's always my job, regardless if they like it or not, to step in and at least tell them what they're doing wrong, and it's up to them to take that advice or not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And fortunate for me, like the artist that I'm working with right now, Meeno Giinchy, like he's open to all types of directions because he's trying to find a direction in himself within his music. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. How do you deliver that that critique?
Excuse me?
That's not easy.
That critique?
Yeah, like how do you like when somebody's like off? Like let's say they're right out the pocket and you want to tell them. How do you tell them?
I'll let them finish their line or whatever they're doing, just to make them feel comfortable. I don't want to just stop them and be like, okay, yeah, right in the middle of their flow and whatever. I don't want to just stop them and be rude. You know what I'm saying? So I'll let them finish, and then I'll tell them, like I'll even cut the certain parts of the waveforms or their vocals that I know that it could be better, or they're off. Or their cadence is off if they're punching in and whatnot, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'll let them know. I'll be like, okay, yeah, that's dope, but I think this part over here, like, you could switch that up, or, you know what I'm saying, maybe it's too many syllables, you can shorten it, or you're just off, right?
Yeah.
Greatly said.
Last question on that. Anybody ever take it harshly? Like, anybody be like, get pissed off, be like, fuck you talking about, dog?
No, I wouldn't say that anyone got pissed off or anything like that, but like there's just some people, like, they're just not into taking directions from other people, like, you know, because I don't know if they find it offensive or whatnot, but they just feel like, they already got it locked down and packed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
An artist can be sensitive sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we're like, it's art, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With you, Shizzy, right? Not Shizzy, sorry. With you, Meeno. What's your recording schedule like? Do you have like I need to be in the studio 2 days a week type of thing, or it's just when it comes to you?
Definitely, I try to be in here as much as possible. So like if I'm not being productive in other ways, I try to be in the studio, right? And I try to make sure my music represents that in a way where it's like for people who work, because some people make music for you to party, some people make music for you to get high, some people make music for you to just, whatever it is, whatever kind of emotion, right? But I think I make music for people to work. Like I always get people who say, yo, ball players or people who box or people who do athletic stuff. They tell me, yo, your music just helps me. Like I just keep pushing. Like I'm on the last rep and I hear your song, I'm just on it. So I like to make music for people who get up early and get to it and work and be productive. So I definitely try to be in the studio as much as possible. Shizzy knows it.
Yeah. And like, even like with your background, right? Do you have like any musical background? Like anybody in your family?
Honestly, but Bob and my dad, they grew me up on Barry Simon and freaking, and my mom's calling right now. Mama Giinchy, you know what I mean?
Hey,
Shout
out.
You dig?
Mama Giinchy.
Shout out to my
Shout out
mom.
Mama Giinchy.
But I'm a real mama's boy, so whatever really she set the tone for, I would follow. So she was playing R. Kelly, she was playing Isley Brothers, she was playing all of the greats, and I always had that ear. My dad was playing DMX, he was playing Busta Rhymes. I grew up on DMX, like I could quote him anytime. And you play any DMX album, I'll tell you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The year, how he felt, whatever it is, because I'm that into like old school hip hop, you know what I'm saying? So I try to keep that element in my music even today. So I feel like with the new millennium, I definitely bring a little bit of 90s with the new school flow, you know what I mean? So to answer your question, yeah, I definitely have a little bit of musical background, but none of my parents actually did music.
You
know
didn't
what I
make
mean?
music.
But they helped me with my music, like they support it.
With shows, right? From we were speaking off camera. You were performing, and I seen on the flyer you were performing with the Presser show that
was last night.
Right?
Young Tory Presser, shout out to the guys.
Right. So for the people who are going to be watching this when this is posted, this is going to be probably like a week ago, right? Now, which shows is that? Like some of your first shows that you've been doing, or you've been doing shows for a while now?
Oh no, I've done like
Multiple
too
shows.
many shows to even
Yeah.
count. So, but that was like my third show with Young Tory, you could say. I
Yeah,
think every
yeah.
show with Young Tory is always crazy, but that was my first show with like Pressa being on the bill too. So it was good to see like the reaction they gave him. You know
Was
what
that
I'm
the
saying?
biggest crowd that you ever had?
Nah, that was like one of the biggest.
That was a lit crowd, man.
It was
I
crazy
seen
though.
the footage.
Shout outs to London. It was Centennial Hall, the November 30th Young Tory show, but it turned into the Pressa and Young Tory show.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And for E1, shout outs to my boy Kish for putting it together. It was a great night. Everybody got lit. Everybody had a great performance too. All the openers.
Yeah. So what's your show preparation like?
Honestly, get a little bottle of wine, play some Barry Salmon, some old schools, and just cool out, hold a vibe.
And that's like before you do your set.
Yeah.
Before you even get to the venue, when you know you got a show, somebody like I don't know if you book your own shows or if somebody's booking them for you, but from when you know you have a show, what starts happening then?
We're gonna get prepared, so I'm gonna hit the DJ up, and I'm gonna make sure me and the DJ have a good connection. Shout out to DJ Sheree, DJ Jose. They had a great set last night. You know what I'm saying? They really boosted the crowd too. But I'm gonna look forward to connecting with whoever's gonna be a part of the show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna build up with them. I'm gonna talk with them, and you know what I mean. We're gonna hold the meds, and we're gonna see how we can connect on stage and bring
Okay.
it to life. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then I'll do my rehearsals, or 1-2 rehearsals.
Yeah.
I'll definitely I wake up in the morning to rehearse. Say I'll play my stuff and work out, and just every day is like, you know, I'm trying to get ready.
Yeah.
So
No,
I don't
it's
need
practice.
a performance to even, you know, tell me to kick into gear. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
No, that's dope. That's dope. And okay, so last few questions, right?
My bad. Hold it that.
And this is for both of y'all, for both creatives, right? As one, the creative behind the boards, who's making beats, who's engineering, and you, the man on the mic, okay? It's a struggle, right? Have you ever felt like giving up? And
Hell no.
as I bring this around to both of y'all, and I say this like, because we're all still doing it
Yeah.
in some capacity. We're all still doing music. But there's always that point where you're like, fam, I don't even know if I want to do this shit anymore. I'm just pissing me off.
Transfer that
I know what
energy
you
right
mean
into
still,
making a
'cause,
record.
but for me, it's not that thought where it's like I don't want to do it anymore. Like obviously, you get tired of something if you keep doing it. It's just your brain. Like your brain gets fatigued from it. You know. Like you're sitting in front of a computer and 2 speakers listening to music like 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know, 14 to 18 hours a day. Then you're gonna feel a little tired. You know.
Yeah. So, and even like that's with you with the studio experience, right? As an engineer, as an MC, right, or as a rapper, both, right? When you're going through this game and you're trying to get in, you're trying to get your music to get that traction and stuff like that. How do you stay motivated?
Fam, I'm a very self-motivated person, off rip. So it's like the music to me, like I said, I started recording when I was 15, 2010.
Right.
When you guys met up. I never stopped since.
Okay.
So it's been a thing to me where I treat it as a passion, and whoever takes it as, oh, this is going to go somewhere, that's how you take it. But to me, it's just, I was making this to make some money. I made this to go run something up real quick. Like I have to go deal with a stressful week. I need some music to play. And realistically, I like my stuff. I like my sound. So I do it for me first.
Yeah.
I keep that in mind. And then from there on out, because I never been a person to figure out the business side of music. I'm just now starting to understand certain aspects of the business and putting certain aspects into motion for myself. So when it comes to like being motivated, I think now the business side is making me even more motivated now.
Right.
I want to conquer this side of it. So it's like some people get stuck. Some people are like, fuck, well, my bad. Some
No,
people
you
are like,
can curse.
damn, like, you know what I mean? I slipped. Like, some people, they can't figure out what it is they're in the music really for, like, because they're not getting the attention they want. But if you're not focused on attention, then it's really not going to phase you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're doing it for yourself, right? So
You're just trying to make good music.
yeah, that's how I stay motivated.
Dope. And yourself, Shizzy, how do you stay motivated?
Again, like sometimes you might get tired, but again, there's always something there's always some inspiration that always comes up through our sessions, regardless. You know, if I have a bad session today, you know, I know for sure, like, me and Meeno's gonna bang out something, or one of my other artists are gonna come through and we're gonna bang out something proper, you know, because like as an engineer, I like, I can't just say like every artist that comes through is like straight fire. Some of them are just trying to find themselves from now. They're just coming up too, you know. So you're not always gonna have those great sessions right off the bat, you know.
Always have 'em.
You're still gonna have to deal with the little ones as well, you know.
No facts.
Yeah, not every session's always like a big session, you know.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes it's just build up for the next session, like.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So-
yeah. Just laying down some ideas.
Exactly, man.
Yeah. And you know, this actually brings me to a question with you also, Shizzy. As somebody who's running a studio, needs to keep the lights on, how do you get clients for studios? Because there's other engineers that are watching who are like, yo, I'm trying to get my shit on, but like, I don't even know where to start to even get people to come to my studio.
Right. Well, honestly, it's all been through networking. Honestly, you know, like I can't even say like, oh, I paid for this promotion or that. Like the only promotion I ever paid for was on Instagram, you know. And I only been doing that like recently, you know, for the past few months. But it's all been through word of mouth, like especially with my older clients, like you know, from Loft days, you know, like. People are still like sending on messages like, oh yeah, you know, I have a client for you, you know, wants to book this and that, you know, and even clients that I have coming through now, you know, same thing, you know, and even just me promoting it, like I promote hard every single day, you know, like I promote on Facebook, I promote on Instagram, you know. I mean, I stopped using my Twitter. I should probably use that more, you know.
All outlets, man.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on. Outlet
But
plug.
it's all through word of mouth and me promoting. You know, that's what it is. Like when I opened up this studio almost 4 years ago, it'll be in January. My first client flew out of Michigan to come record with me.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And that's because my promo game was like strong them times too. You know, so like it went that far. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's dope.
Yeah, you know, like literally like that day, like.
Do you still have the session?
I caked
still
that
have the
day. I
session?
want more sessions like
question.
that day.
You
Like,
still got that? So you
still have the session?
yeah, I still have all of those sessions.
Yeah?
I have every
Dope.
session that was ever
Dope.
recorded here.
sick. And even when you were mentioning social media, that brings me to a question that I swing over to you, Giinchy, right, or to, Meeno. How do you cut through the social media traffic? Because there's a lot of people on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram trying to push their music, yo. You know what I'm saying?
I find, well, from my experiences, going to LA, going to Atlanta, going to Texas for South by Southwest, you just got to keep connecting with people in real life and let that transpire into your Instagrams or whatever you're trying to do. Because once you know someone who's really doing something in real life and they post your stuff, then you get good feedback. So that's my word of advice to everyone on social media. Keep making real relationships and let it build on social media.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Meet your the people who are influencing people online.
Yeah.
Actually meet them in person.
Yeah.
It's a good
Exactly.
idea. Yeah. Last question, like that I have based on this whole music and studio experience. When it comes to like your approach to you, Meeno, making music and you with just your whole business of the studio, right? What would you like to change about yourselves?
It's a good question, man. What would I want to change for myself? That I'm changing every single day, honestly. You know, like I'm not comfortable trying to be the same person every single day. You know, I'm always trying to learn something new. You know, so every day when I wake up, like just because I went to music school doesn't mean I stop researching things and you know what I'm saying, trying to look up different techniques and stuff and trying to even test it out myself, you know what I'm saying, trying out different software and you know what I'm saying, like I said, if you have a passion for something, you'll never stop learning different ways to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And there's always technological advancements that are happening.
Exactly.
You always got to stay on your A game. And with
Perfectly
you,
said.
Meeno,
Yeah.
what would you like to change about yourself?
I honestly wouldn't change a thing, but I would just make sure I keep improving my work habits. Like I would just make sure like every thought is more positive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna change anything, but I'm gonna influence more positivity. You know what I mean? So that's all my thing. That's all my thing is like just try to give out good vibes and get it back, right? So
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
changing anything. I'm just gonna keep it going, keep it flowing. You know what I mean?
Just add on.
But I like Shizzy's answer. Realistically, that was powerful. I can't even
no.
come back after that.
No, you guys are both giving me some really insightful things, and for the audience, you know
They
what I'm
need to
saying?
link up,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Trust me.
Yeah, like
They know.
people out there need to hear these kind of conversations that we're having here.
Sure,
Right?
definitely.
Sure.
I have something that I have a new segment I set up called City Questions.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're for both of y'all. All right. And we're over here in what we used to call the mega city, right? Or the T dot, now the 6, you know what I'm saying? So for the people who are watching in the States and our UK audience and all that stuff, it's stuff for them to be able to find out about our city, right?
Yeah. Let's get
So
it.
what are the next steps as far as our whole music scene? What do you think Toronto needs to do to get to the next level?
You wanna answer first? You're on a run right now, fam.
I'm on the run.
It's just
Honestly, we just need a lot more support from each other, you know, like to get further, honestly, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, if you look at it right now, there's so many talented artists over here that should be on,
True.
you know, they should be on, like, a greater platform than what they're on right now, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying they have no choice to settle for that, but if they had the support that they needed, they could get themselves a lot further, man.
Yeah.
Facts.
And how about you, Meeno?
Yeah, I would say the support, and I think it's gonna come once we start working with each other more. Once more songs come in with more collaborations from more Toronto artists. You know what I'm saying? The world's gonna look at it. Oh, there's a lot of love over there.
Yeah.
So definitely well said.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're actually bringing me to my next question. There's a lot of tracks that we have in our city that are dope, but there's a lot of beef tracks. Do you think beef tracks are holding us back?
Not necessarily. I don't really listen to beef tracks, to be honest. I listen to more like, you know, like I said, productive music, stuff that can work too. I mean, stuff I could put on and go about my day and feel like, you know, I'm stronger, right?
Yeah.
I'm listening to the supportive stuff, right? So, but to be honest, it's hip hop, and that comes with hip hop, right? The competition, and I get it, but to be honest, I kind of put myself in a realm where it's like I'm just always listening to the next great thing or what's building. Like, you know, I'm into the Pharrell stuff. I'll still play like, you know, Genuine. Like, I mix it up, right? I'm not stuck on one sound, one thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like people should just maybe step yourself out the box sometimes. If you don't want to hear something, just listen to something over there, you know?
It's true.
Because there's a lot of other Toronto sounds like Jesse Reyes and, you know, there's Free A, like there's Young Tory, like we just talked about. Come on, like Pressa, like a lot of guys who aren't talking about beef stuff, right? You can really play their music and feel like, all right, let's get it. You know what I mean?
And what about you, Shizzy? Like, is ops music, like music about the ops holding us back? Because that's what it is. It's like, yo,
man's
ops this,
killing
ops
you.
that. You know what I mean? And mans are like going crazy at each other sometimes. Like, so
I don't know. I wouldn't really say it's holding us back, because like I see it as a trend right now. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it right now, like it is a trend. You listen to any Toronto banger right now, everybody's talking about their ops, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a new music. It's a new age of music. We're in a new era right now, and we can't stop it. You know?
Yeah.
So, but for me, I don't. I mean, not to say I don't listen to that music, but especially when there's a rap beef or whatever, I won't entertain it. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, it's none of my business. You know, I'm trying to work.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to die over somebody's ops.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, it's like, I agree with what both of y'all are saying. I listen to everybody's music, right? And I'll be just enjoying the song, and then somebody has to put me on like, yo, you know that's like an op tune.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm just like, yo, if your bars are hot, like I'm just
Yeah,
and the beat is hot, I'm
exactly. If
banging
your
it,
bars
you know?
are hot, if your music is hot, then come on, man.
That's
you
like
know,
an afterthought for me.
Exactly, you know, but like as of like rap beefs, like, you know, like I'm not here to entertain that, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to make great music.
Yeah.
That's where it starts for me. That's where it ends, you know?
We're getting into 2019, right? This is going to be something that's posted before 2019 for sure.
Yeah.
What's your favorite moment of 2018?
Oh, man. For me, going to LA. I'm not even going to lie to you. It was crazy. Being out there for like 2-3 months with my boy Jeremy.
Okay.
My boy Jeremy goes to Pasadena College, so he's playing ball out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I got stuck out there because I went to South by Southwest March 17th, and we stayed out there for a bit. I ended up losing both my passports. I'm a dual citizen, right? Canadian and American. So long story short, I couldn't find my passports. I'm in Texas. I said, yo, Jeremy, can I come, stay with you? He's like, yeah, for sure. I went to LA, kicked it in LA, made a bunch of connects, and that's what really inspired me for 2018. So that was a big moment.
Dope.
Yeah.
And how about you, Shizzy?
For me, for 2018, honestly, like the entire 2018's been like super blessed to me. You know what I'm saying? Business is booming like better than ever. Hits have been coming out of here. My next goal for 2019 is to open up a new space as well. A second location. So like I just feel blessed for what I have. The skills that I have and what I'm about to do. You know.
That's sick.
That's what's up.
And
And shouts out to Wavy Davis because he was with me on that trip too.
Okay.
He's like, yo, I'm not going back to Canada without you, fam.
Yes, shout out Wavy Davis.
Yeah,
yo.
man.
What is your least favorite moments or least favorite moment for 2018?
Honestly, I don't have any. I don't have any. Like he said, it's been all like lovely. Yeah, I don't have any.
Shizzy put his head down like, oh. I know you got a moment.
Have any.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but like it's just an issue that happened. Actually, two of them. The worst one obviously is my brother passing away. You know what I'm saying? My older
Condolences.
brother. A lot of people don't even know like that I have any family. Because they only know me as like the guy in the studio. You know. What I'm saying?
R.I.P. bro.
But I have an older brother. He lived in Trinidad. R.I.P. He was just 2 years older than me, so he passed away in September.
Okay,
That was
sorry to
pretty
hear that.
hard. And the next one, just some bullshit happened. Got me back in the system. Like, but it's just stupid. It's gonna be over soon. So.
Okay. Yeah. What
real.
You guys kind of answered this a little bit, or you kind of answered this a little bit before with your question, with our question before. But what do y'all see as your plans for 2019?
For 2019, like I said, like I want to open up a second location. Somewhere probably central.
Okay.
Right.
Dope. And how about you?
I'm looking to drop more projects. I'm hoping to go into the new year with a project. So from there on out, I just want to like get the ball on the road and just keep dropping mixtapes, EPs, whatever it takes, right? Just whatever it takes for me to just feel like, okay, I have a nice catalog of music to just play back and just say, okay, I did this.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Dope.
And we got a lot of hits in the stash.
Yeah,
Shizzy's definitely executive producer of a lot of this stuff right now that I'm
That
doing.
vault is rammed.
Crazy.
The vault's ready to overflow,
We need a
right?
new hard drive.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Beast mode.
2019.
Crazy.
Yay. Okay, I'm looking forward to hearing all that,
I'm
man.
gonna send you some hits, fam. Trust me.
Okay. Yeah, the stuff that I was hearing earlier has been crazy. I from you, Meeno Giinchy.
Blessings.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
I know Shizzy has a level of professionalism that he always upholds and will continue to uphold, and I respect your work ethic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I really enjoyed having this conversation with you guys here. You know what I'm saying?
Much respect, yo.
Yeah, brother.
I appreciate you for even coming here and
Rick.
having us on this, man. Definitely.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
We're over here at the Outlet Studios. You know what I mean? For any artists who are
And it was dry as
serious.
hell, bro.
Yeah. He saved the backward. I seen that.
Dry as hell, bro.
I seen that.
Hope you guys paid attention, man.
Hey, you do better than me when I'm on the
Nah,
podcast.
fam, yours are fat. I see you over there with some logs. I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not involved with those.
You know, we've edited out some. Just a quick side note: we've edited out some times where I've crashed a blunt.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Just like mission, abort mission, tear the blunt.
Damn, I was like, nah, you ain't gonna 6 buzz me.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's very insightful conversation with the both of y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Respect,
Yeah. Shizzy Shotta, Meeno Giinchy, 6 views.
6 views.